Think about the last time your phone buzzed with a, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" text. Did you feel a surge of excitement? Or did you feel a cold, heavy weight of obligation in your chest? You look at the screen, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat, and you realize that typing, "I'm busy," feels like a lie, but typing, "I don't want to see anyone," feels like a social suicide. So you leave it on red. You flip the phone face down, and in that second, the silence that fills the room doesn't feel like loneliness, it feels like a victory. This is the moment the great disconnect begins. To the world outside, you are becoming a recluse, a fallen titan, retreating from the battlefield of life. But here is the scary part. Science suggests that if you're one of them, your brain might actually be wired differently than 99% of the population. You aren't losing your mind. You are reclaiming your machinery of destiny from a world that wants to harvest your energy like a crop. You have decided to have zero friends, and today we are going to dissect the brutal, brilliant, and deeply scientific reason why your 8K resolution brain has finally decided to quit the tribe. This isn't a story about being antisocial. This is a story about the sovereign ghost, the one who realized that most friendships are just a social tax they are no longer willing to pay. Let's perform a surgical incision into your neural treasury. Every "how are you" you don't care about, every "ha-ha" you fake in a group chat, and every dinner where you nod at stories that bore you to tears. These are not harmless interactions. They are social shrapnel. For the desert navigator, each of these moments is a leak in your biological fuel tank. Most people are social gluttons. They thrive on the white noise of gossip because it fills the vacuum of their own empty internal world. They need the noise to feel alive. But you have entered a social fast. You have identified that 90% of human interactions are mutual manipulation contracts. A fragile agreement where I pretend to care about your stories so that you will be forced to listen to mine. When you quit the game, you become a threat to the status quo. You are no longer paying the tax. You have realized that your social battery isn't just a battery, it is the raw material for your purpose. You are a high-end computer that has finally realized it is better to stay offline than to connect to a slow, virus-filled, and soul-draining Wi-Fi network. You aren't lonely. You are economically efficient with your soul. Why can't you just fit in like the rest of the dandelions? It is because your hardware was upgraded while you were sleeping. Look at the room around you through the lens of the 8K resolution brain. Most human beings possess a biological filter that blocks out 90% of the world. They see a crowd, and their brain records it as a generic safe zone. But you were born with low latent inhibition. You see the veins in every leaf, the rot in the bark, and most importantly, the hidden motives in the voice of the person standing next to you. You are the unblinking witness. Because your brain treats everything as relevant data, you possess a high-resolution radar that detects a lie before the other person even finishes their sentence. You feel the vibe of a room, the unspoken tensions, the hidden agendas, the social exploitation, the moment you step over the threshold. To a person with your resolution, a normal social circle is not a support system. It is a limbic minefield. You see the natural forces of human nature that everyone else is too blind to notice. You see the jealousy hidden in their compliments and the boredom hidden in their laughter. You aren't broken. You are seeing the world in a definition that the herd simply cannot process. Let us look at the intelligence paradox. In the laboratory of destiny, research reveals a shocking truth. Highly intelligent individuals actually feel less happy the more they socialize. While the herd needs constant chatter to feel secure, the sovereign ghost needs silence to perform peak task bracketing. Your brain is running complex simulations of the future, creating art, or solving the internal geometry of your own existence. Every ping on your phone is a sabotage of your internal citadel. You have outgrown performative friendships. You don't chase belonging because you are internally validated. This is the hallmark of the elite mind. You don't need a mirror to know you exist. Most people use their friends as a social mirror to confirm they are worthy. But you have built your own light. You would rather feel whole alone than feel like half of yourself just to fit into a group that doesn't speak your language. You are not antisocial, you are pro-purpose. You are the architect of the void, realizing that the most profound breakthroughs in human history didn't happen in a committee. They happened in the pressurized silence of a mind that had cut the cord. Now, let's talk about the Cold War of social rejection. Science tells us that your brain processes social exclusion in the exact same neural pathways as a physical wound. To be unfriended feels like a broken rib. But the sovereign ghost has built a mental callus against this pain. Society uses ostracism as a weapon to keep you in line. They want you back in the crowd because a person who needs no one is uncontrollable. They call you weird or arrogant as a tectonic shift to force you back into submission. But you have seen through the wordless hypnosis. You recognize that their belonging is just a high-priced form of biological submission. You have identified the 4 emotional triggers, and you have realized that your trigger of reputation is no longer for sale. You are the falling titan of the social world, a force that cannot be measured by likes or read receipts. Every time you decline an invitation to an event you don't want to attend, you are reclaiming a piece of your machinery of destiny. You are telling the world, I am the commander of my own pause. How do you turn this isolation into your greatest strategic weapon? You apply the tactical Stoic toolkit. Marcus Aurelius knew that the inner citadel was the only territory worth defending. To survive as the sovereign ghost, you must first perform a social battery audit. Stop asking, who do I like? And start asking, who leaves my soul's treasury fuller than they found it? If the answer is no one, then stay at 0. There is no shame in a social fast that lasts a lifetime. Second, you must practice selective ghosting, not out of malice, but out of resource management. Your existence is not a public commodity. You do not owe the world your presence. Third, you must build your internal bioluminescence. This is the psychological practice of self-witnessing. When the world is not mirroring you, you must mirror yourself. Document your own thoughts, your own growth, and your own tectonic shifts. You are moving from a standard definition life to an 8K resolution existence, where you are the only architect of chaos and the only judge of value. You are not a broken machine. You are a sovereign kingdom, and every kingdom needs a final truth. As we draw this forensic autopsy to a close, look at the stars tonight. Really look at them. They are millions of miles apart, suspended in a cold, black, and unforgiving vacuum. They have no tribe. They have no support system. They have no friends to validate their brightness. And yet, they are the only things in the entire universe that give light to the darkness. They are the ultimate silent sovereigns. If you have spent your life feeling like an outsider, like a ghost in your own narrative, realize this. The stars are not lonely. They are complete. They don't need a reply to be real. They don't need a like to burn. Your zero friend status is not a sign that you are invisible. It is a sign that you have become the radiant sun of your own solar system. Being alone doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're the only one who doesn't need a mirror to know who you are. The mission is not to find your people. The mission is to find your internal bioluminescence. The vacuum is not your enemy. It is your greenhouse. Class dismissed. Go forth and be the star. The wordless hypnosis of the crowd has no power over you anymore. Stay deep, Stay sovereign. Transmission terminated. Now. Wait. There is one final data point. Think about the gasping engine of those who are always surrounded. They are terrified of the silence because their self is a digital forgery built out of other people's glances. They are the prisoners of the gaze. But you have the cloak of invisibility. You can walk through the forest without being seen, and because you are not being observed, you are the only one who is truly real. Your 8K resolution is a gift that the world wants to steal, but you have built a citadel of silence that no algorithm can penetrate. Do not apologize for the desert. Do not apologize for the ghost. The herd is a monoculture, one infection away from extinction, but you are a biological masterpiece of resilience. The cyberball is no longer being thrown to you, and for the first time, you don't even want to catch it. You have your own ball, you have your own game, and you have already won. Keep observing, keep breathing, and never, ever let the silence win.